So, a flying brick, who I thought we were friends because we had them on Lesbian Talk, paid for us to watch a movie. Because Patron. Patreon.
Thank you for the
Thank
support for the show.
It makes me so happy that
and
everybody will support my wife.
This film, the fact that we watched it, that I imported a copy and watched it.
And we ripped it into like 3 different formats because we had to watch it on my TV.
Because her system doesn't play Australian DVDs.
Yeah, so I have a smart TV, so
it's a complicated thing.
It was like AVI,
we did all this,
DMV, and MP4. And
this is a testament to the fact that I will indeed do a backseat critique or review of any film a patron wants, as long as I can get a copy of it. That we watched this and we didn't even switch it off once.
No, well, we really couldn't, because that would be not integrity.
Yeah, we didn't be all like, excuse me, we need to finish this tomorrow, it's just so bad.
Well, no, because tomorrow I've got class, and I gotta go to Tesco, and,
If you see a movie called Fat Pizza, and you haven't already seen it, and you like it already, the chances are you should probably just leave it alone, treat it like it's radioactive.
It's not a very good movie. It reminded me very much of, Jackass, but without the stunts.
It reminded me of the Ali G movie, and I didn't like that.
I've never seen that. I've actually never seen any of his stuff as Ali G, only Borat. And the
Ali G's stuff was good when he was talking to politicians and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff when he tried to be funny as a character, it was very similar to this. Oh. And no.
I'm not a big fan of Sacha Baron Cohen. I am actually a big fan of his cousin Simon Baron Cohen, who is the UK's foremost leading expert on autism. So
this is a bogan comedy, bogan being Australian chav, and I don't even like British chav films.
I've heard Yahtzee and Gabriel talk about this, and let's drown out.
And there's 5 seasons of the show, and unless someone pays me a huge amount of money, I will not watch them.
So is the show just this, but this is a longer episode?
I think this is a movie spin-off.
Okay. So they don't all work in a pizza shop?
No, I think they do in the pizza shop. The show is called Pizza.
Oh.
And I think this is just the same characters in a movie version of the show.
Oh, okay. Alright.
I
didn't know that Australia was so racist.
Really?
I mean, y'all got... okay, I did. But, I didn't know they were so, balls out there with the fact that they were racist. In America is very racist. And, I mean, okay, some parts aren't. Well, some people aren't, I guess. But, and the whole, the police thing and everything. But, we like to civilly pretend, at least, up until about 1.5 years ago, that we're not racist, this is, no. But, Australia were just, I guess, apparently, just, dropping the slurs all over the place. And we even had to Google some of the slurs because I didn't know what they meant.
Well, I did. That one that you knew, that exists in the UK, so I knew it.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted an exact definition, but I knew it was a racist slur.
Oh.
But, what I found hilarious was Australia is basically the Florida of the Pacific, while Essex is the Florida of England. And when Googling this film, we found out...
Is it in London? It's near London,
It's near London.
We should go there sometime.
No.
Why not?
No. But when Googling this, I discovered there is a Fat Pizza in Essex.
But has that pizza place been around before the show?
I have no idea.
Because if
this is not a cult hit over here. I doubt it's a reference. It's just someone else came up with the same idea.
I wish I had pizza.
But
I can't because I'm losing. It was not good. I mean, it was basically all of the ends of each of the sketches we called in advance. Okay, he's going to do this is going to do that, this is going to end up with that.
It was so very, very obvious.
Very, very transparent.
Within a couple of minutes, my soul was crying out for a Fat Pizza Wolf Creek crossover.
You don't have a soul. You don't believe in it.
I was being poetic.
Cool.
You know?
No, I've never seen the movie Wolf Creek, but the Wolf Creek, I was like, hey, look, it's like Wolf Creek. Even though you've only, described the movie to me.
Yeah, but I thought you actually thought it was supposed to be the same character. I was like, that's not John Jarrett!
No, because I was like, no, because that's the serial killer that has been into other previous... See, I pay attention.
The serial killer, the previous mention, because I was trying to check something on phone, about the thing, and I missed that bit. So that's why I was confused by him.
It was just, if you're going to be offended, you're going to be offended at this. It's just one of those... I know it's one of those things that it's supposed to be offensive on purpose. I did go see Borat, And there
Reminds
was...
me of Keith fucking Lemon.
I don't know Keith Lemon.
I'm going to send a copy of this to Film Brain.
Would you stop shouting?
Film Brain would get an episode of this.
Film Brain would make that face. He'd go...
He'd be like, right.
That's the Film Brain face that he would make.
Yeah, that's Film Brain.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I went to go see Borat, and the people 2 rows in front of me walked out in the first 20 minutes, like, disgusted, and I was thinking to myself, how did you miss every single bit of media talking about how this is such an offensive movie? So you can't really be like, oh, this is offensive if, you know, the point of it is to be offensive. But the thing is that, like, you can be offensive and you can be funny at the same time. Like, The Goodies, Google it, and Monty Python... and some other sketch comedies
there's a lot of offensive good.
Have managed to be offensive
and a lot of
in
things,
a way that's still funny.
And a lot of things are offensive, but are not intended to be funny, but are funny.
Yeah.
The Schizophrenic movies. The first two, anyway. The third one was like trying to be artsy and was just stupid. But, except for the music video bit, that's awesome. But this is just crap.
Well, there was one funny bit. Is they're driving through the beginning. They're driving through the town, and they pass by a road sign that says "Police now targeting." And there's like a place you can like put a thing in that says Lebanese. And I was like, oh, see, we have racist cops too. And there's this one character, Habib, and then like later on in the movie, the police now targeting Habib. I thought that was kind of funny.
I think one of the bits they did, these little skit bits, it gave me an idea for a film, that probably a better film than this, where you've got this horribly xenophobic character who's just completely no good, terrible, ends up getting mistaken for an illegal immigrant and gets treated absolutely terribly by their country's sort of immigration thing. That would make a decent film. Yeah. That you could do a dark comedy like in that about the dehumanization of immigrants. You could do a whole lot of that. You could even do like a Twilight Zone the movie thing, although try not to kill your main actor by dropping a helicopter on his head.
Would you stop that?
No, that did happen.
Yeah, I know, but that's like not. You shouldn't talk about that.
That was the best bit of the Twilight Zone movie.
Oh my god!
No!
Somebody died.
No,
a child
not
died too. Did they
two
not?
children died.
Jesus.
Not the death. The story. The fact they managed to get together based on what they had. The script originally had a happy ending, which they hadn't filmed.
Someone's gonna make a gif of that. With you saying that was the best part of the film, now it's going to be on the internet forever.
That section, that story, it's an episodic film.
Welcome to the internet.
The only thing they hadn't filmed as far as I know was the happy ending, and it works so much better with a sad ending. It is very powerful.
Welcome to meme fic. Do you know, I was on like,
it's a good part of the thing, death or not.
I was on an obscure corner of the internet, and I ran into the Lindsay's hot dog face gif, whatever.
What was that?
Remember from I think it was the Freddy Got Fingered review. And she's like being hit in the face with a whole bunch of hot dogs that that Nella was throwing off camera. Oh. And it's become like a thing. And it's really weird that that's spread so far and wide. Huh. Like, I'll just like run into that, okay, like someone will be like, haha, reaction gif, and I was like, it's so weird. How did that end up here?
Yeah.
So now you're gonna be like, Hagen says the deaths of children are the best part. Bing! And you know, someone's gonna put that on Tumblr and me going, bing! Well, yeah,
you're well aware of what I mean. If you're not,
too late.
You're
now.
very stupid.
Too late now. But it was.
I wish this was alcohol.
I mean, there was one kind of good idea, like the pizza guys get into it like a gang war with like Ronald McDonald and training people from like McDonald's.
It looks like the lead singer from Mac Sabbath.
Mm. And then like he like accidentally body checks like a guy looking like Colonel Sanders. And see, the thing is, if you found us at Con Bravo or any of the cons we brought it to, my brother-in-law bought this game called Channel A, the anime pitch game. Which
if you check,
you can find it on Amazon.
Go to my WordPress, and somewhere in the last couple of months, there's a copy of a game of Channel A being played.
Yeah, there's like stuff that's played, and it's really great because you basically there's 2 idea cards, and you tell everyone with the title cards make a pitch. And we played it once with the household, and my roommate came up with this really great one for this like you know, gritty gang war based on like takeaway nationalities. He described it like, I'd watch that. There's like a star-crossed love somewhere, and like so they kind of touched on that, but I still want to see my gritty like takeaway wars nationality gang reboot.
And Some of the casting is a bit odd in this. You've got the woman, the large woman from Pitch Perfect is in this, playing the large woman in this. Mm-hmm. Apparently she was Australian. I haven't seen Pitch Perfect,
and there was a surprising cameo that
one I looked up because I had to look up a wiki and discover some stuff. This one I spotted. I was like, holy shit! And it was Michael fucking Craig playing a judge.
I bet you don't know who that is.
Michael fucking Craig from Trial of a Time Lord, Terror of the Vervods. And what else?
And he played the bad guy in Turkey Shoot, a.k.a. Death Camp Thatcher. I was like, you're right,
it's Thatcher! It is. Michael Craig, he's 87, and this was 12 years ago. This was apparently his last film he was in. And, most actors who have a terrible and embarrassing last role in a terrible and embarrassing last film, usually it's because they died, or this film was in production and it came out after they died, when they'd made stuff after that. Like Vincent Price's last film technically came out like 10 years after he died. That's nice. But, and he did his stuff for in the 60s. Mm. But this one, he's just like, no, I did Fat Pizza. I am done.
That was a mic drop and a half.
Yeah, it's just like,
also,
finished!
So I don't know. We didn't Google it, and we probably should have, but,
he's still alive!
Nobody could swear in this movie. They were, replaced with, hilarious Foley sound effects. I can't decide if they did that on purpose because they can't swear on the TV show, so they're carrying it over as a thing.
Possibly.
Or because I know that Australia has some really weird, really esoteric and crazy censorship laws.
No, this was a feature film, and you can get Australian films with swearing, so if it's anything, it's a stylistic choice, or it's just weird. But the mixing of having, the sounds of barnyard animals and random sound effects in place of swear words, mixed with them using vernacular, which neither of us were 100%, familiar with.
But they didn't bleep out the slurs.
Yeah. And the accents, because we don't hear Australian accents very often.
One guy sounded like he was an Australian trying to do
South African,
either South African or the black urban London thing. That accent, the
London accent, the modern day London accent.
Yeah, I'm hip with it and things.
Yeah, not the traditional Cockney, the modern day London accent.
The other London.
But that guy, that was the main actor. He also co-wrote it and stuff. Him.
Where are you from, dude?
He's from Sydney, according to Wiki.
Well, I don't know what's going on with him.
But you mix all those facts together, and sometimes the conversations were really hard to follow. And I admit I should probably be more familiar with various Australian vernacular stuff, because I do like Australian comedy. Obviously not this, but then again I could debate the fact that it was comedy. I love Sean McAuliffe, The Chaser, John Safran, shit like that.
I just wasn't good. Although there was one guy with a really cool taxi cab that had disco lights on the inside.
Yeah, I'd like to see a taxi company make a name for themselves just by having individual taxis that are all crazily designed on the inside. All of them are unique. One of them is aquatic themed, another one's nightclub themed, another one's space themed, and it's if you had a cab company in your city that was equally good as the other ones, or possibly a little bit worse, but had awesome badass cars, cabs like that, which would you go for?
Oh, the badass ones.
Yeah, someone do that.
But I think this is kind of oh my gosh, this is a crazy movie. I wonder what I'm making.
This is the sort of thing that if you were 12, whenever the series came out,
between 12 and 15, or maybe even a little bit older. And it's
Australian, so it's I could see people
or it's one of those things that douchebag guys would pregame and get incredibly high and then go see in the cinema and then go terrorize a fast food takeaway to
okay, there's so much deliberate offensive and everything. I'm reminded of one of the greatest lines from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. From Spike, whenever these guys, these vampires attack people on Halloween night, and then because you're not supposed to do that on Halloween night, that's the one night off, and so Spike's being pissed off at them, and they're like, we're just rebelling, man, we're rebels, and Spike's like, I'm a rebel, you're a fucking idiot. Well, he didn't say fucking because it was Buffy, but I feel like this same way, here's me. I watched the sort of Vomit Dolls movies, the schizophrenic ones. I've seen shit the guys who make this couldn't fucking unsee, and I'm like, you're not offensive. You're a fucking idiot.
It's douchebag TV. It's like Jackass. You're just
it's equivalent of
Jersey Shore.
It's equivalent of an Australian Fred Durst. Who thinks he's funny?
Well, it's good to know that America doesn't corner the market on that kind of thing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, if you like Fat Pizza, my philosophy, and if you like stuff, if you like it, good. But
I didn't like it.
We don't have to. We don't have to.
Enjoy it.
And I think it's entirely possible that with multiple watchings and some catastrophic brain injury.
There's a ferret in it.
Yeah, a ferret playing not a ferret for some reason. And, okay, yeah, this scene. The guy comes in and he's like waiting to deliver a pizza for some reason. Someone else can't give him money, and then this one's like, "Look at this animal. This is totally not a ferret. It's the last of its kind. We're going to clone it to create and bring back the species." And he's
it was a really cute ferret because I used to work at a nature setting in a summer
and then
camp. We had ferrets.
he gets his finger too close to it. It bites it, and if you're writing this scene as a where your main character is sane. You want to kill the ferret because that's the joke.
Yeah, I saw like a Mr. Bean-esque thing unfolding where he's like desperately like trying to like extract himself from the situation and slowly killing the ferret.
That's the same way of doing the scene.
That's where I thought it was going.
But this version,
or Hugh Laurie kind of,
Yeah, in this version he he bites the finger and he like swings it around. Oh no! And then he like flies off, crushes against a wall, or possibly lands in a paper shredder or something.
Because it was an office setting because we thought a paper shredder would be appropriate.
But in this one, it's like he puts it in there, and then it bites him, and then he starts swinging the entire cage around, battering against the wall, crushing the fucking cage,
and then opening the cage, getting bitten again.
Opens it, starts punching the ferret in the face, and then it bites him again, and then he starts... Did he bite it in half or something?
Eventually he, like, shoved it to an office fan, went down like that, and then turned the office fan on.
Yeah! It's just like, you've written your slapstick comedy where your main character's a fucking psychopath!
And there's, like, one point where, like, the playa dude is, like, ends up with, like, 4 different mafia after him because he's, like, basically been having sex with everyone in the town.
And filming it without their consent, putting it on the internet, so the mafia are pissed off.
And there's lots of rape jokes.
Yeah, there's a scene where the entire comedy of it is the guy gets raped.
Yeah, pretty much like has this like strategy of getting close to like overweight girls who have pretty friends and like hanging with them and taking them out and stuff like that to get close to the friend, and then he spends most of the movie blowing off the friends whatever they call. So they at a club they roofie him. They
feed him a bunch of Viagra.
They shackled him to a bed, and it's implied that
it's like the end of 40 Nights and 40 Days.
Night. And we just looked at
40 Nights. The one with Josh Hartnett where at the end he gets raped and then apologizes for it.
Yeah. But then, like, we looked at each other and we're like, wow, that was, like, the biggest rape joke ever.
Yeah.
But it was weird that it was a guy, though.
It wasn't even a rape joke. It was the joke, literally, okay, yeah, it was literally, because most jokes are like, rape is involved, and this is attempting to be funny with rape. But this one is like, literally the joke is he gets raped.
Yeah.
Like, the idea of a man being...
3 overweight girls at once.
3 fat girls raping a man is apparently the entire joke. And again, it's not bad because it's offensive, it's bad because it's shit.
Yeah. And he's, like, all beaten up and stuff, and he, like, puts a Band-Aid on his penis. And I mean, you don't see that, obviously, but... Like, the most sympathetic character, actually, was the guy that owned the pizza joint, who, like, is a 40-year-old virgin who's, like, is terribly abused by his mother.
Whose pizzeria is, like, killing people through being shit and has murdered at least 2 people. Yeah,
but, like, he has never had sex ever, and that's all he can think about, and you just really, like, end up pulling for him, because he bought a mail-order bride, and she comes, like, in as a refugee off a boat with, like, all of her family. So you're really actually pulling for them to get married, And that was, like, literally the most sympathetic part.
The second most sympathetic was the priest.
Yeah, who just quadruple books the
Somehow.
wedding, the church, and finally, like, people, like, all these, like, Bogan families are fighting with these Maori families about it, and they all burst like, what about us? He goes, you want to get fucking married? Yeah, because the one, there was the Maori guy and the girl.
Yeah, Maori's New Zealand. It must be an Aboriginal.
Okay. I thought everybody was the same ethnic thing.
No.
In the Pacific.
No.
No, they're different.
No, and I could be wrong about this, but I think the Maoris are the same group as, like, Samoans. Like, that's one group. So
I thought
Aboriginal's
that
different.
they came from Australia, like, in the before times.
No, I don't think so. I think
if you're Maori, like to show let us know. Or if you're Aboriginal, let us know.
Yeah, I think the Pacific Islanders, including Maori, are ethnically one group, while the Aboriginals are separate.
Okay, I thought that everybody down there was related because of the islands. But if you're a cultural anthropologist, write the show.
Yeah, it'll be fascinating.
Yeah, so the first like, you want to get fucking married? Fine, you're married, and you're married, and you're married. Are you fucking happy? And it's like, yay!
And there's the end. And then the guy at the end, the Bogan singing, that's a Maori, but he's pronouncing it, that's a Maori.
That's probably what I was thinking about that.
Yeah. But Flying Brick, you are so lucky that you're such a lovable scamp.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the free peoples of Afghanistan shall not be calling for your extradition and war crimes, trial. Not today.
I mean, like, you might find it funny. Like, it might be one of those things you get home drunk from a party and you're still kind of fucked up, and it's on you, and you like, I mean, that's fine. I just didn't think it was funny.
And thank you for your continued support. Although, from now on, I will consider your Patreon money in part blood money.
Blood money.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hope you... Wasn't our thing.
I have a feeling that this was suggested basically just to see
the reaction.
Non-Australians' reactions.
Could be, but
there wasn't a Golden Gay Times though.
Yeah.
Do you know in Australia they have an ice cream treat called Golden Gay Times? Yeah. I want to go to Tesco and buy some Golden Gay Times. It looks like basically like if the Good Humor like chocolate eclairs what it looks like from the package.
It's an ice cream something.
Yeah, like a bar, like you showed me the packaging online, but it looks like in America it's called a chocolate eclair. It's put up by Good Humor, the ice cream company.
Oh,
they're good. They do chocolate.
Eclairs over here aren't ice cream.
Well, no, like an eclair. Yeah, a chocolate eclair is the pastry. Is like a pastry with a chocolate on top and the custard inside. Mm-hmm. But a chocolate eclair, the ice cream bar, basically it's chocolate on the inside, ice cream on the outside, and then like there's kind of like crumbs of chocolate cakey stuff and golden cakey stuff on the outside. And then a strawberry eclair is the same thing, but strawberry ice cream, then vanilla ice cream, and then strawberry crumbs and vanilla crumbs. It's really good. I really want one now. Ooh, so good. You get them like 25 cents at the school lunch. If you guys know what I'm talking about, just don't listen. Don't even.
If you like this, good. It's your thing.
The pizza was not as involved as you might think.
There's nothing wrong with liking stuff that I don't like. You're allowed to be wrong. And there was even stuff like when the guys are like, oh no, we're for some reason we're locked out of all of these bars. Let's go to this bar. There's sure to be lots of people in there, and it's like it's a gay bar.
It's called Stonewall.
The entire joke is that it's a gay bar, which A is crap joke, and B was done in The Simpsons 12 years ago. First. It was done. Wait, 12 years ago? No, this was 12 years ago was when this was made. So it was made like 10 years before that.
It was made back in Police Academy. I said it's a pity it's not the Blue Oyster Bar. Although in the Blue Oyster Bar you only got danced with if you really deserved it, because the Blue Oyster Bar, as we discussed in the Police Academy Marathon, which I'm sure you can find on your YouTube.
Oh, I could do a whole that's one of my lecture videos I could do about that. Our theory about the Police Academy.
It is the force of gay karma that you only get danced with in the Blue Oyster Bar.
Yeah, the Blue Oyster Bar is entirely it's not a literal place in the Police Academy movies.
It's like a metaphysical thing.
Watch our marathon. Probably like
and then we
number
came up
4
with
or something.
With ideas of like, how do you pray towards Mecca if you're in space kind of thing. I was hopped up on cold medication. It was an amazing
You pray towards Earth. I believe actually they've come up with this because I think there has been a Muslim astronaut.
Okay.
I believe they're supposed to just pray towards Earth.
That makes sense. Fair enough.
I could be wrong about that.
I'm sure Allah will understand. But yeah, so I hope that you're satisfied, Flying Brick.
Unless your ship is spinning, so you don't know you can't actually find where Earth is at that
moment.
No,
because
you could probably just pray anywhere and God will...
use the gyroscope.
Yeah, but if it's constantly moving, you can't like...
Well, you wouldn't be... If you're... I don't think you have time to pray in free fall. If it's like a Darth Vader, like, end-over-end situation...
Oh, no, I was thinking maybe the capsule might be naturally moving, that, the Earth, your view towards Earth changes before you finish the prayer, because I don't know how long the prayer is.
Oh, I don't know.
So, I expect in that sort of situation, then you can just pray and, God will catch it. It'll be a homing prayer.
A homing prayer. I think it's like... It's the intention that counts.
And they probably got rules set up for like people flying, in planes.
Yeah, there's got to be some kind of.
They're practical.
Yes. But yeah, so I hope you're satisfied, Brick. That you got us to make the faces that we're making now.
Yep. If only Robin was here, Robin just was like, we're all being like, being all semi-civilized. Robin just like, that's fucking shit. Here's a crime.
Here's a crime.
No, then one of us would be like, no, Robin, the crime was fat pizza.
Aww. So's truth, mate. Dingoes ate your baby. They did that. They made a dingoes ate your baby reference. I'm like, meme.
I can't.
Old
How
meme.
dated was that whenever the film came out? That's
because
the big question.
That was a 90s thing. That was on Seinfeld and then not maybe a dingo ate your baby. That was in the 90s. Old meme. Shame on you. Americans know what this means. I had to explain it to her. She didn't know what a shame gesture. And you have like this.
Game of Thrones.
So that's it from us.
Yes.
I'm tired and I have...
Next,
no lecture
Backseat Critique should hopefully be Crimson Peak, which we're seeing on Tuesday, which is our 3rd anniversary.
Yay! We're married and shit.
So it's our paper or plastic or newspaper or kitty litter anniversary. It's going to be something.
I got you an external hard drive, but you already had one.
No, every anniversary is a something
I
anniversary.
know. So
and it's going to be something crap.
It's the flash memory
Okay, that one.
anniversary.